How's it going, guys? Welcome, Psycho here, coming at you with a new tutorial video for Alien Isolation speedrunning, especially the no major glitches category. This was a largely requested video series that I wanted to make, and I'm finally doing it right now. So this video will be totally unscripted, so I'm sorry for that. But yeah, first things first, this is not the fastest speedrun category there is for Alien Isolation, just that you know. There are faster speedrun categories, of course. There is Any Percent, which is at 24 minutes right now. And the largely speedrun category is All Missions, actually, which is 2 hours 33 minutes right now. People run it on Nightmare primarily. So this category is pretty much just fun and just how to show how you speedrun this game without the major glitches, you know. And before you ask the question, why is there not a glitchless category? We talked about this in the speedrun community, and we were largely the opinion that glitchless category can't exist or makes no sense in this game because of the minor glitches that are still in it, you know, and it's basically just makes no sense to do a glitchless category. So we just call it no major glitches so that no questions come up, you know. So there are still some glitches in it, but the large glitches like silent running, call it psycho running, that I found 4 years ago, is not in it. There is no clipping through walls and stuff. So it's largely the same experience how you would play the game normally, but fast. Yeah, fast. So I'm going to be linking a nice tutorial video QD and Infomastr made, I think it was 2 years ago or so. I will link that in the description below if you want to run the all missions category. I will also put in a link to the speedrun community on speedrun.com, which is speedrun.com/AI if you want to visit that. There's a lot of resources there where you can educate yourself how to do another speedrun category, but this video series here is just for no major glitches on Nightmare, just that you know. So so first I want to be clearing some things out. I run this game on Nightmare because of the challenge, you know. NMG is all about challenge. It is a really hard category. It is easy to do a run without glitches first, but it's really hard to go really fast, you know, because you know you can't run in this game. Basically, that's the global perception. But we can run. Actually, we know how to exploit it and to control the alien more or less. It doesn't work all the time. If you want to see my most actual run there is right now, I'm going to link this run in my description below. But in this video series I will be going much slower through the levels, explaining everything, telling you everything of my thought process I can't do in a full run, you know, because I can't repeat myself all the time. I'm going to be doing this in this video series, and I will split every video into one mission. So yeah, basically that's it. First things first, I'm not going to be going into details like how do you do the fast generators, for example. That's just binding the use key and the mesh key to the mouse wheel. But I'm not explaining to you how to do this. Just go to speedrun.com/AI into the forums and you will find explanations there how to do it. Yeah. What I want to say regarding the language, I'm running the every speedrun now is made in Italian, because Italian is the fastest language in this game. it saves about 30 seconds, more or less, during the whole run. So if you don't hunt for seconds, you can also run it in English if you want to. But I just wanted to tell you it's about the 30 seconds time loss if you run it in English compared to Italian. You can still, you can barely see it. You can have the game in Italian, but have the subtitles in English if you want to, if it's better for you. Or you can you can have all the text in English and the game in Italian, so that you feel still familiar, with the game. And another thing I want to mention is the performance. You have you can save about 2 minutes just by running this game on the lowest difficulty settings, and it's largely dependent also on the speed of your PC, So you may get a slower time just because your PC is not good enough. But if it's not good enough, just lower all the settings to the lowest possible. And then you're good to go, basically. So, just a reminder, if you do that, we allow frame caps. My PC, for example, you can see it in the top corner over there. My FPS will go pretty much up over 300 FPS in the game, and we have experienced that when you go over 275 FPS, the game will make trouble. It will stutter. You will be slower sometimes. So it's we just allowed frame caps to 275 frames per second. So you're advised to do something like this if you get over 275 frames per second, So I think let's stop talking. Let's get right into the game. I'm not going to be using a timer, guys, because I'm going to stop at some points explaining you stuff, If you want to see a timed run, as I said, I link it, my most recent run, in the description down below, so you see how it's done fast without stopping, So, let's go. In isolation, nightmare. Let's go. For the timer start, we actually start the timer once you... Can you see my mouse? You see that loading signal on the bottom right corner. If that loading signal disappears after the 2 cutscenes you skip, once it disappears, you start the timer. So now it's on, the loading signal is still on. Once it disappears, now. Now we start the timer. So let me get my headphones up so that I hear something. So this mission is pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. It's just like in every category, actually. You can't really skip that much over here. So just go forward, sign in. And what I usually do, loot is pretty important in this category. So I usually just strafe to the right. See me strafe to the right after I've put in the card. And then I come over this box, and then I'm just rolling the mouse wheel to loot everything that is in this box. And you have to do this fast, like this, and we go on. See that? Pretty easy. You don't have to do it, but it would be better if you do it, As I said, loot is pretty important. We go to change. Now we go straight to Samuel's first. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to stop here just for a second to explain something. We allow skipping of the dialogues in mission 1, because it makes no sense for us to wait the whole dialogue on, you know. So we just said for no major glitches, we just skip the we shorten it. We shorten the the dialogues a little bit. So what we do, there's actually a trigger point right over here. You see that after the door frame. Oh, it's coming at me. There's actually a trigger point right over here at that line. When you pass that, you just immediately go out of the door again, and he will start the dialogue with you. He will say, Ripley. And then you just move on to Taylor, right? You can do this actually by looking down and see where the bottom of the screen is. It's now at the door frame. See this? It's now at the door frame. If you pass that line, you just turn around and go out, you know. I'm going to be doing this.
Ripley.
So that easy, right? Now we can go on to Taylor and do actually we are doing the same thing with her. So the trigger point here is right where this gray section here begins. You can actually use the same thing, just look down, and as soon as the dialogue starts, you turn around and go back to Samuels.
Taylor, buongiorno.
Ripley, sappi che
So,
non c'è proprio niente di buono in questa giornata.
the dialogue will cut out, and you don't have to listen to all of it. Then you go back to Samuels. And here it's not, just go into the room and then you wait.
Certo.
You wait at this point over here. Don't go farther than that.
L'ipersonno potrebbe averla turbata.
Non l'ho vista. Vado a vedere.
And as soon as he said turbata, it's probably I can't remember the English word in the English version actually. As soon as he said that, you go out of the door, right? Just at that word.
Hai visto
If you go further,
Sarà sveglio da
you loot that box over there. If you go faster than that, the dialogue will actually cancel out and you have to go back in. And that's basically a reset of the run. We go back here, wait for until you see Samuels, then you go back to the lane. Sometimes you see that he just stops over there. It's totally RNG, you know, how he does that, and yeah, you can lose up to 2 seconds, I guess, due to him, maybe even more, 3 seconds or so.
La Torrens è in ottimo stato per essere di classe M.
So the rest here is just straightforward, just have to wait for it until he says document, you know, and you have to be careful. You can't spam the use key to grab that document, because if you do, you will get an error and you have basically to reset, you know. So just press it as soon as he says documenti in
Avete I vostri documenti con le istruzioni?
Osservate l'avvicinamento sui monitor.
Then you skip the cutscene, and as soon as you skip the cutscene, we usually split in live split. That's basically it, right? So this was basically mission 1 in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, the next mission will be explained in the next video. So if you haven't liked it yet, please put down a like for me. Thank you. And subscribe if you haven't already. So we see us in the next one, guys. Peace out.